Okay, hi everyone. How you doing today? It's Bob Hamel back at the house here. We're gonna do another all about flavor show where we like to take the natural ingredients and natural flavors of foods, yada yada yada, no salts, sugars, fats, blah blah. I've said that so many times. I'm tired of saying it. But anyways, we like to make good food and we make it nice and fresh. So let's go through that and what we're gonna do today. Today, we're coming up to one of my favorite holidays in the whole world, and that is Thanksgiving. Why do I love Thanksgiving? Well, it's a great time of year, but also it's because of the food. The food at Thanksgiving is so different from any other foods anywhere else, any other holidays in the U.S. But I think what's really cool about it is it harkens back to the original Thanksgiving among the English pilgrims and the Native American Indians, having a 3-day feast to celebrate their peaceful coexistence. And it was 3 days of peace, love, and food. Kind of like, without music, it was kind of like the original Woodstock from 1969. So in that respect, that's what I want to talk about and what I want to do today. I want to go back and look at some of the original components of what was served at that festival of 3-day experience, and try and do a little bit of a riff on that, because having researched it, I'm not going to serve swans, I'm not going to serve geese or duck, or I don't have a harbor out back here where I can go get mussels and clams and some of the nuts from the woods. They're indigenous to the U.S., but they're not out back there, so I'm not going to go get those. But what I am going to do is to take some of the original ingredients and make my own preparations that go really, really well for a Thanksgiving meal. So what are those going to be? First off, I've got some really, really, really nice, show them here, look at that, nice squash. And what we're going to do with these is going to grill them to get some nice caramelization out of it. Then we're going to saute that and stuff it. And what we're going to stuff it with, kind of like a layering of it, is going to be some sauteed apples, onions, and leeks. And that's over here. And we're going to do that with a little bit of a curry powder. So it'll be really, it's got that nice earthy texture, earthy flavor. Next thing we're going to do is my favorite recipe and process for doing corn. Corn on the cob. It's a 3-step process, but it never fails to come out perfectly. It's done in the microwave and then dipped in hot water, and then you take it and you throw it on the grill and it steams it. So it never overcooks it, never gets gummy. It's the best. It's the best preparation I've ever had in my whole life. And I've tried corn hundreds of ways. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a riff on everybody's favorite sauce at Thanksgiving, cranberry sauce, right? Well, I like to make my own, and I've got the preparation here that's all set up. We're going to do that on the stovetop. So let's get going. What are we going to do first? We're going to take all this stuff outside, and we're going to start going that way. I'm going to start cooking. See you in a minute. So let's see what we're going to do here. First off, we have our apples, onions, and leeks. We're going to saute that. Just leave that in the corner, let it go. I've got 2 types of squash here. We're going to just layer these on. Hopefully they will. Because I've quartered this one, it should cook faster. This other one, which is it's a cute little squash. Looks like that. Isn't that cute? It's pretty cool. That should cook up pretty quickly. I've got some pecans that I want to just toast a little bit. And then I've got these peppers that I want to grill. And this is a hot pepper. But actually it's not as hot as it could be because we've had it, and it's kind of provides a little bit of heat, but it also provides a little bit of sweet, which is pretty cool. And then I have some other stuff going here that I'm just going to throw on the grill because I'm cooking on the grill. So I have some chicken thighs that I've done with a turmeric and a ginger powder. And we want to see how that comes out. It's a little ginger, a little white pepper, and a little bit of turmeric. So it's going to have an Eastern kind of flavor. And don't tell anyone, but that's for lunch. So we're going to cover this and let it go for a bit and go back and check on the corn and see how that's doing, and be right back. Okay, Ruby's here. Hi, how you doing? What's going on? Anything? Okay. You want to help? All right. So my corn has been in the microwave for 5 minutes. This is on high. This is the first step in the process. And it basically cooks the corn. Now we want to take it, throw it in the water. What's that going to do? Well, the water is going to soak it inside the husks, and I'm going to try and leave as much water as possible in there. So let's let that sit for a couple minutes. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more hot water. The hotter the better. And when I take these off, I'm going to try and leave water in there, and then we'll put it on the grill. And what's going to happen? It's going to steam. So it's not going to overcook. It's going to come up to temperature, and it's delicious, and just right off the cob. But we're going to cool it and put it into a relish. So it's a great process, and I might even be tempted to eat a little bit of it off the cob, but if I can show some restraint, I will. So let's leave this for a second, and let's go back out and see what's going on the grill. Alrighty, let's take a look and see what's happening. It's been a couple minutes, I guess. Things are beginning to heat up. I can see this is beginning to look pretty good. I want to get that rearranged a little bit. The flavors of the apple and the leek and the onion is just phenomenal. It's just so good. Peppers are just beginning to grill up. That's nice. We like that. Like to see that. We don't want to get them too burnt. And this is looking good. These guys we're going to leave just as they are, because they're going to take the longest amount of time. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to try and rearrange some of these so we can get some more heat going on them. Let's see how the chicken is doing. One of the other things that I want to leave the chicken for a bit because I want it to cook a little more. One of the things that I'm going to do here, which I've never done, is to cook up the chicken skin. I normally just throw it out, but hey, on all the cooking shows, they cook this stuff. So we're going to see how it comes out. Okay, lift it off. So I've dusted this with some cumin and some turmeric and a little white pepper. See what happens here. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we'll throw it out. This should crisp up nicely. Let's make some room. All right, there we go. Well, that's looking good. Let's see how the chicken's coming. That one came off nicely. Look at that. That's got some good marks on it. Yep, a couple of these. There we go. I'm not going to cook all the way through because that'll be for a different meal. But for the moment, let's try and get these guys in a little closer, because at the edges here, there's less heat. You see that one didn't even cook through, so we're going to flip that back. Yeah, let's check this out. Okay, here we go. Let's let this fire up and we'll come back to it in a minute. Good. Okay, the corn is looking good. I'm going to take it and hold it up so that we leave as much of the water in there. Just like that. I'll get this. Oh, got it done the first time. Perfect. Okay, this is going on the grill. We're going to start cooking it and steaming it. And so let's head out to the grill. So here's my corn. Look at how it's got heat coming off it already. That's cool. So let's try and get this on somewhere here. And the water, well, let's go feed the garden. Let's start popping some things around here to make room. All right, let's get this bad boy in there. Oh, the skins are actually doing something. Hot darn. That's pretty interesting. I'm actually fairly amused and surprised that this came out the way that it's coming out, which is good. Okay, let's flip the chickens. Again, these guys, I definitely want them to cook a lot more. Just like that. Does this mean I need a bigger grill? Shh, don't tell anyone. Alright, corn. Get that going. In a minute, I'll pull some of this stuff off and we'll make a little more room. But as you can see, the apple and the onion is cooking up nicely. The squash is looking pretty good. The skin is looking really good. Leave that. Push the chicken back a little. Come on, get back there. Make some more room for the corn. Alright, there's the corn. That's good, just like that. That's going to do nicely. Let's see how these guys are doing. We're getting some nice grill marks on it. It's looking good. What I want to do is I want to get more of this cooked. If you're in a time bind and you think like, oh, I'm never going to get this done, you could take the squash and do it in the microwave for a few minutes. And that'll, just like the corn, it'll heat it up. Come on, get over there. There you go. And sometimes, if it looks to me like if I weren't going to eat the squash today, I'd do this twice on the grill. I do it once, par cook it, and then finish it on the night that I was going to eat it. So let's let this go for a bit and come back. See you in a minute. All right, we ready to take some of it, to clear some of this off so we can have some more cooking space. So I think the pecans are done. I just wanted to get a light toast on them anyways. Put them in there. This is going to go inside, and I think the skins are looking pretty darn good. I think we're going to take those out too. That'll give us a little bit of room. Flip the corn around. And the peppers, I think, they're good too. So let's pop the peppers out, because they're going to have to cool. They have to steam a little and then cool. And back we go into the kitchen. All right, we are back at the grill. Let's see what's happening. Oh, look at all this extra room. My God, it's great. Okay, the corn is beginning to cook up. I like to see that. See how it's getting a little darker on the husk? That's good. That shows that that's evenly cooking. Same there. Let's spread these guys out a little bit. The chicken is looking delicious, actually. Now let's see how these guys are doing. All right, they're beginning to cook up nicely. I'm going to cook them on each side because you're not going to eat the skin, but you want to cook the flesh that's adjacent to the skin. All right, makes sense. All right, everything is looking good. How do you test chicken? You poke it. And these two are good. These two still have to cook a little bit, because if you don't get any resistance, then it's still raw in the middle. So we're going to let these guys cook a little more. And this, just like that. It's looking good. The color on the chicken is amazing. I should incorporate this in the show. All right, we'll be back. I want to make sure that it cooks perfectly. That's still hard. Well, that's... We may do a punt on this. We're going to do what I just said and throw these in the microwave for a few minutes just to soften them up, and then finish them on the grill. By that time, I'll come out, the chicken should be done, the corn should be done. So let's go back in the house again, then come back out of the house again. Alrighty, we are ready to start offloading some of our stuff here. The corn, looking good. This is about where you want it. We're gonna have to let it, I'm gonna have to shuck it and let it rest and cool off. Chicken is good. You excited about chicken? That's your lunch. Okay, we're going to leave the grill on because the squash is coming back out. So let's go back in the house and then come back out. Well, I've said that already a number of times, haven't I? Let's go. Okay, with an empty grill, a smoky empty grill, we're going to lay these bad boys down and just, they should all cook up much quicker. Yeah, I can feel, just by feeling it, I can tell that it's going to be fine now. Whew. Let's not burn the fingers. Okay, so we're going to let these go another couple minutes. They should be fine for stuffing and serving after that. But I want it to cook through, because the longer that this cooks, the more caramelized it gets, the more sweeter that, because squash can be starchy, kind of like potatoes can be starchy, but if you slow cook them, the sugars, especially in squashes and pumpkins and those kind of things, they're naturally sweet, and the sugars will come out with the longer and the slower that you heat them. So you want that, that's what you want, really, because it's really good. So let's leave that for a few minutes, and then we'll go back in and start doing some other stuff. Who knows what we're going to do next. See you in a minute. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on. We're at about almost 550 degrees, so this should be firing really well. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That's looking really good. Yep, that's cooked through. That's cooked through. I think microwaving was the way to go. Thank God for modern technology. Let's see how this one's doing. Oh yeah, that's good. You can tell, because you can just put the spoon and it just goes right in. So that's cooked. There we go. That's good. All right, we are done grilling. Woohoo! Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna start stuffing. Let's start prepping this. This is gonna be the corn relish. I've got my peppers that have been steamed and skinned. Want to just do pretty much a rough cut on this because you're gonna want it to balance out the corn. You don't want it to be so small. Now the hot pepper here, though, you want to get this guy really diced. This is nothing worse than a big old bunch of hot pepper in your mouth when you're not expecting it. So that's a nice fine dice there. This looks good. Like that. Now, what should we do for spice for the corn? Okay, let's pull this off. Look at this. Look at how this, all right, that's just there's a nice heat, residual heat here, so I can feel it's been cooked through, but look at how clean that is. You see that right there? Look at that, huh? Look at this. Look at that. That's beautiful. So we're going to break that off. Do the next one. Same thing. Oh my God, this is beautiful. This is really, really, really looking good. So there's a little bit of residual string hair. Try and get rid of that as much as possible. Okay. And now you just shave. Basically take your knife and shave it down. Take the corn off the cob. So going back to the original feast of the Pilgrims and the Native American Indians, it was spread out over 3 days, okay? They had a lot of food. They had a lot to do. It's been rumored that one of the bands that played in the original Woodstock, Sha-Na-Na, in their original version, played a set with the Pilgrims. It's just a rumor, but it would have been an acoustic set because electricity hadn't been invented yet. All right, we're going to take this and just give it a little bit of a chop. As you mix it, it'll break up. You want the kernels to stay pretty full. Excuse me. So let's get that in. Get that in there. There. And you know, I think it's going to need one more component. And that component is sitting in this bowl right next to me. I've got some nice curried onion in there I'm going to put a little bit of it in here because that's going to just really boost it. And I think that's where the pecans are going to go too. So let's just take a couple of these guys out of here. Okay, there's that. Now we've got a little bit of the curry flavor, right? Throw that in here. Take a little pepper. That. Some parsley. I have some fresh parsley, but dried. Throw a little bit of that in there. And it's going to need a little oil and probably a little vinegar you need some acid in this, so I'm going to wash my hands and be right back. All right, we're just going to finish this off by mixing in a little bit of vinegar. Just a bit, not a lot. A little bit of oil, because you need some, this is a relish. It needs a little texture, a little bit of stuff. A little liquid to make it all work together. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of ground red chipotle. This is a smoked jalapeno from the last show. Remember that? Okay. Yeah, of course you remember that. All right, let's take this and mix it up. See what it flavors out like. Let's taste. Okay, I got a little bit of the pepper, a little bit of the corn, a little bit of the onion. Oh yeah. Nice earthiness to it. Still got the texture of the corn. Just got that nice crispiness to it. You can't beat how this corn cooks. It's perfect. So that would be a great side dish for Thanksgiving, right? A little bit of corn relish. Okay, we're going to put that to the side. Now I'm going to clean up here, clean this board, and then we're going to start prepping the squash. See you in a minute. All right, time to start assembling and plating my squash. I've got all 6 pieces. So I'm going to 2 in the middle, like that. I'm just going to layer the squash with the apple onion leek mixture. You want to get it in there. And I think my ratios were pretty spot on. And then for texture, I'm going to take some of my pecans, give them a quick chop just to make them a little more granular so they're not so toothy, and then sprinkle on top. Corn, apple, onion, leek, pecan, side prep. Again, for a nice Thanksgiving dinner. There we go. Alrighty, the last preparation today, well, before I even go into that, but I think everybody remembers one of the most memory that everybody has about Thanksgiving is that one thing that is on everybody's plate all across America, and that is the cranberry sauce, right? Remember, stuff in the can, this stuff here, right? Everybody remember this? How you'd take it, you open it up, and you'd lay it out gently on the plate, and it would still look like the can. It would have the little rings around it, and if you touched the plate, it would jiggle. And you know what this is really good for? Absolutely nothing. This is disgusting. We're going to make something much better. What do I do with this when it comes time for Thanksgiving? That's what I do. I get rid of it. I don't even want to go near it. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to make our own cranberry relish, relish. Mostly, I'd call it a relish because we don't want it to get pureed. We're going to let the cranberries cook, pop, and then, you know, it just cooks. It's delicious. So anyways, I got my recipe here. I've got grated lemon peel, grated orange peel, sugar. I've got some ginger, some white pepper, and then I've got the juice of lemons and fresh squeezed orange. And if I don't have enough of the fresh squeezed orange or lemon, I'm going to augment it with some store-bought orange juice. But let's get started here. So it's 3/4 of a cup of sugar that goes in. The ginger, the pepper, the juices go in. Figure this out. Got to put in the juice of the lemons. This is like, I think it's 1.5 teaspoons. Let me look at my recipe. 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to eyeball this. And if there's a little more, hey, it's lemon juice. It's good for you. Now, for the orange, okay, let's see what I got for quantity here. Okay, I need 3/4 of a cup. I got 1/4 of a cup. All right, be right back. Okay, 3/4 of a cup of orange juice, ginger,
A little bit of white pepper, not a lot, but pepper really does a lot of good things in cooking. And then we have the orange and lemon peel. Gonna bring this, let this cook a little bit. Clean up. I'm gonna try and get this sugar dissolved and everything working here. Smells delicious, by the way. And then I'm gonna add the cranberries, and we're gonna let this simmer till the cranberries start to pop open. All right, let's add them. These are Ocean Spray cranberries. What's important about Ocean Spray cranberries? They're from Middleborough, Massachusetts. It's where I grew up. We had summertime, we grew up in Taunton, but summertimes we had a house on Long Pond in Lakeville, and Lakeville is right next to Middleborough, and everywhere you look in Lakeville and Middleborough are cranberry bogs. They're just all over the place, and they're really cool. If you've ever seen how cranberries are harvested, it's really sharp, and supporting a local industry. Cranberries, the cranberry industry in Massachusetts is very big. It's the biggest in the country. It actually competes with, I think Wisconsin is where the other cranberry growing state in the United States is. But I'm gonna check my recipe. Alrighty, let's take a look. We have our slow simmer going here. You see the berries are beginning to pop open. And this is good. What's going to happen is I'm seeing a little bit of, it's getting that saucy texture. You know, the berries are still whole, so I want them to, they got to cook a little bit more. This has to cook about 10 minutes. It's been about 5. And one of the things to do is they say to, if it gets foamy, to skim it off, and it is a little bit foamy, but I'm going to let it cook some more. And then we'll skim the foam off, and of course we have to see how it tastes. So, back in a few minutes. Alrighty, let's get a nice shot in here. Take a look at that, huh? That's really beginning to get liquidy. That's a term. The berries are beginning to pop open. You want them all to pop. So this is a slow simmer. All of the flavors are really beginning to meld together. This is going to become a real nice cranberry sauce. Much better than that stuff from the can. You know how we feel about that. All right, I'm going to let this go for probably another minute or two, just because, and then I'm going to taste it. And it looks like the foam that was there kind of dissipated, so we don't have to skim it, which is good. So let's leave it for a minute. Be right back. All right, ready. Let's take a look here. I'd say this is looking like a cranberry relish, which is what it's supposed to look like. The important thing, now, do I taste it and burn my mouth? Yeah, I guess. Let's see, I'm going to take one berry. Let's take a look at that on the camera. How does that look, huh? Does that look good? The berry is popped open. The juices have released. It's the orange juice, the sugar, the lemon peel, the orange peel. Everything is kind of melded together. As I'm talking, I'm hoping that this cools off so I don't burn myself. Oh yeah.
Oh, all right. Thanksgiving can't come quick enough.
That is phenomenal.
And much better than the dearly departed canned of junk.
And we support our local cranberry farmers down Ocean Spray in Middleborough, Massachusetts.
So that's the show today. We've got a corn relish. We've got squash stuffed with apples and leeks and onions and with some pecans on top. And then we have this killer cranberry relish. These are three sides that you can have at Thanksgiving. That'll blow your family away. The flavors in this are just amazing. So anyways, I'm Bob Hamel, and here at our house, it's, like I've said before 1,000 times, all about the flavors. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. See ya.